let's consider for a moment that the people we think are dead have just moved into a less robust way of being alive. Because we commune with them all day long. We should revere that they are still here, perhaps not as we knew them, but they still exist in the same way that dropping a petal into a pond will yield drops and droplets and wavelets long after the pellet has reached the bottom of the pond. We should revere the fact that their lives are not contained in their bodies, but actually reach out and continue to reach out long after their bodies are no longer present with us. We commune with the dead every day if we look around, and we should revere that fact the same way we revere nature. In fact, nature is dead, isn't it? All those great cliffs of limestone, nothing but fossilized crustaceans pressed together. Dead things. All that dirt we plow up to plant things, nothing but dead things, all decomposed, icky. And yet, the great redwood stands there in the middle of all those decayed bodies, and the mountains still thrill us even though they're made of the fallen wreckage of seas. And do not our lives grow from our ancestors? Are not our monuments built on their foundations? So this, a friend to hear, is just one way of acknowledging that the dead are not entirely dead. They still live in ways that envelop and touch and guide us. There are other ways to do it, but sadly in this culture we're not good at that. And I think we need to do something like that. I think we at Fountain Street Church need to be more mindful of our dead in a more regular way, not just at Memorial Day, not just when we do this once a year. And here I come to my other story, and then I'll be done. Back in 1999, my father died rather suddenly. He'd been ill for some time, but he died unexpectedly, not of the disease he was supposed to die of. And after all the formal mourning and the memorial services and all the rituals we already observe, I found that I still wanted to do something on a regular basis. But there was no mechanism for that. And then I remembered my friend, the rabbi at the conservative synagogue down the street. And I remembered that every week in the liturgy of the synagogue, the service is concluded. In fact, it cannot end until the last prayer is uttered. And it is uttered by those who are grieving or those observing an anniversary of loss. And it dawned on me that I would like to do that. And I came to my rabbi friend and said, is it all right if a non-Jew stands up to read the Kaddish? And he said, as long as 10 Jews are doing it, I don't care who else helps them out. Because formally speaking, you need 10 Jews for it to be effective. And so I showed up there. And I learned how to put on my yarmulke and say, and it felt good to be given a task in grief, to be given a life-giving task in grief, to be given an opportunity in my remembering to add to the living, in my recollection of the dead, to be more alive, to commune with my father, but also not to be retrospective, but to be present. And then it dawned on me I had other dead too. 2 infant sons, eventually a mother. And I asked myself, why is it that my liberal tradition, so encompassing, so inclusive, so generous-hearted, has no room for the grief-stricken, except that we do memorial services? Why are we not able to put the names of the dead on our lips as well as our walls? Why can we not speak of them except on formal occasions that involve flags? Might we feel more connected, not only to the dead, but to each other? In the Quran, Allah tells Muhammad that the Kaaba, the sacred cube in Mecca, was built by Ibrahim and Ismail, Abraham and Ishmael. To worship there as a pilgrim is to visit your founding spot, to remember and venerate the dead. It's a very powerful thing, and Muslims who go to the Hajj meet with Muslims from all over the planet, and they all circle the Kaaba together, all of them venerating this place that commemorates the founder of their monotheistic faith, because it isn't Muhammad, it's Abraham. Just ask them. To worship at some level needs to include a chance to bring the dead with us and to be part of them. You know, Tuesday is election day. You heard that right. Given how intensely people feel, I wonder if too many of us as Americans have let party or politics become the thing that connects us. But I don't think that's genuine any more than I think that lions and tigers and American Idol and Justin Bieber really bring us together. Because these are not the things that hold us together. We crave, need, deserve a deep, ancient, lasting connection, and that includes our ancestors. We need something that allows us to live with the dead, to bring them back to life and to be reminded of their lives that still live in us. We need to find the Spirit, the truth, the love, the hope, whatever it is that connects us to those who went before and binds us now, even now, between the quick and the dead. Amen. Let's sing our closing hymn this morning, which is which one? The Singer of Life. This is actually an Aztec poem. Nahuatl is the language translated into English. It's very austere, and it's about singing into life. The Nahuatls are the Aztecs, so get your Aztec on. Connect with the birds. Feel the dead, and let's bless the day.